Hi, do you know who it is? This person made a decision that caused people to lose billions of dollars around the world. And no, he's not in prison and he was never found guilty for that. If you are a programmer, I'm sure you have been struggling with this tiny but tricky thing for years.
Null pointer dereference.
But how could something as innocent looking as null cause so much chaos? Back in 1964, Sir Tony Hoare added null to AlgoV. Why? Because objects needed something to fill in their empty references. Linked structures like trees or grass were tricky to set up, and machines already had zero to mean nothing. So why not? I didn't want to deal with the problem, so I introduced null.
Welcome back to King 5 Mornings. We are in the midst of a global IT outage right now, affecting flights, businesses, banks, health.
Maybe he thought, we'll just tell programmers to check before using it. But in reality, they didn't.
And perhaps it was a billion-dollar mistake. Well, the world is gradually recovering from the mistake, I'm glad to say.
Imagine you're at a cafe. Hey, how are you? Could you make me a cup of coffee, please? Hey, man, of course. Black or white? A black one. Here you go. Thanks. This confusion perfectly shows the problem with null in programming. It's unclear, ambiguous, and easy to mess up. In March 2021, a critical vulnerability was discovered in OpenSSL TLS server implementation. A null pointer dereference could be triggered by sending a malicious request causing the server to crash. Of course, guys started doing exactly that. This flaw affected millions of web servers globally, causing millions of dollars in losses. CrowdStrike software update carrying just one tiny bug, a null pointer in a C++ driver, sparked worldwide disaster. Windows machines everywhere went down, throwing blue screens of death. Critical infrastructure crumbled, airlines grounded, hospitals paralyzed, banks frozen. The chaos trended simultaneously on LinkedIn and Reddit, underscoring the magnitude of the disaster. Good thing this time we didn't need masks. Google, Amazon and Microsoft spent millions annually just dealing with the fallout from null-related bugs. So you're not alone catching null pointer dereference error from time to time. Share your costly bugs here in comments. Let's make a competition of the most expensive ones. So why does null exist anyway? At its core, null was meant to mean no value. Simple, right? But there is the twist. There is a big difference between no value and nothing exists. Null tries to be both the absence of something and placeholder for something that might exist later. This fuzzy logic leads developers straight into confusion. Is the data missing? Is it just not loaded yet? Did something go wrong upstream or not? Consider this. You're not just referencing something empty, you're referencing nothing and expecting it to behave like something. And that's where things break. Null isn't just confusing, it's dangerously vague. And in programming, vagueness is the enemy. But the tech world hasn't been idle. Languages like Rust, Kotlin and Swift have introduced powerful tools like optionals and non-nullable types. For instance, Kotlin forced programmers to explicitly state when a variable can hold a null. Just only Kotlin's introduction of non-nullable types significantly reduced crashes at companies like Pinterest, Netflix and Uber. Despite advancements, null still persists widely due to legacy code bases and its deeply rooted presence in popular languages like Java and JavaScript. So what can you do? First, always check for null explicitity. Use modern languages that handle nullable explicitity and educate your team about safe practices around null handling. Also use linters and hinters for your language. This story is a lesson about how small choices can cause big problems later. As developers, the billion-dollar mistake reminds us to think carefully about the tools we create and choose. After all, who knew nothing could mean so much? Thank you so much for watching and stay in tech!